Hello Taurus, let's get into your reading for the week of October 17th. We're going to look at a strength, a challenge, and then the potential outcome for you. And if you stick around to the end of the reading, I'll pull some cards specifically for the full moon in Aries that is taking place this week, and see what's coming through for Taurus with regards to this full moon. If this is your reading, please remember to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. And definitely leave me a comment down below if it is not your reading, as this will not resonate with every single Taurus that watches. Go ahead and check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oftentimes there will be a message there for you. You can check out in the description box below the schedule for the elements, so you can see when those come out each week. Or you can just hit that notification bell and receive a notification when those videos go live. Alright, so the week of the 17th, we've got the full moon in Aries. We also have Mercury and Jupiter stationing direct. And if you recall, I did a Mercury bonus reading, and I specifically did a part of the reading on the post-shadow period. So we are entering that post-shadow this week. So you may want to review that. I'll attach that link at the end of this video in case you're interested in seeing and refreshing on what might be coming up for you during the post-shadow period. So let's get going here, Taurus. We got the Hanged Man showing up here. The Hierophant and the Star. The King of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck we have the Chariot. So lots of water elements coming in for you for this reading. We'll see how that applies. So the Chariot here is Cancer energy. Could definitely have some movement going on for you this week, Taurus. Kind of this sense of taking control and moving quickly towards a victory here. We'll see how that might be coming into play as we get into your reading. I do feel like you've got some kind of offer coming in here, and it's showing up in your strength position. Could definitely be a water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer potentially. So in your strength we have loyal heart. You can see these two owls, these two counterparts gazing at one another. Almost kind of like a heart opening energy that is experienced as a result of such a strong loyalty coming from someone else. So it could very well be that someone comes forward and expresses their desire to be loyal to just you. This could also just be showing up as you kind of coming to recognize the people in your life that are kind of worthy of your dedication and loyalty because they dedicate themselves to you. So let's see what's coming through there. We have the Hanged Man, the King of Cups, and the Four of Cups. I kind of get this feeling here that it's going to be a little bit of a shock to you that this person comes forward and offers you their cup of love. It's kind of almost a change up in your perception here. I don't think you're expecting this from this person, especially if you already know who this is. Now, it doesn't have to be a water sign, even though that's showing up strongly here. It could certainly just be that someone has a very deep loyalty to you, a deep love for you. So let's see if we can get some more detail on what this is in your strength position, why it's showing up as a strength for you. Why do we have the Hanged Man? We have the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. The King of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups and the Five of Swords. And with the Four of Cups, we have the Five of Wands and the Nine of Cups. It's kind of interesting. We actually have quite a bit of conflict coming in here with this situation. And I feel like this conflict is existing within you. Like something about this offer of love, this person, is causing conflict within you. And I think you're almost tempted to you certainly have a decision to make about this person. But I feel like on some level it's like a dream come true, but for some reason it's causing some conflict within you. Like perhaps this person, it could be someone that you work with here with the Two of Pentacles showing up. But it kind of alters your perspective here with that Hanged Man. Now with the Queen of Swords showing up, I feel like it's bringing in clarity about something. Like perhaps this is even someone that you suspected had feelings for you, and now it's clear that they do. But I think it puts you in this kind of indecisive energy here about this person. Because on the one hand, this could be like a super positive connection with the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Cups. But there we have the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. Something about this person coming towards you, I feel like you're reflecting on potentially the drama that it could cause if you were to accept this person's offer. Or even perhaps it almost feels like maybe it starts to cramp your independent style here, and that is why there's some conflict arising around it. Now it is showing up as your strength. I do feel like the offer this person is presenting is a super positive one, if you allow it. Now in your challenge position, we have the Eight of Cups, and it looks like you may be walking away from this. And so we'll see, because I do feel like this person could perhaps be offering a long-term commitment to you. And I kind of feel like, yeah, I feel like it's maybe just cramping your independent style. You may be single, you may have been single for some time, and this person coming in, you kind of see that this Nine of Cups seems pretty happy on his own here, right? There's contentment associated with the Nine of Cups. It's kind of like a dream come true type of energy. But it's not the Ten of Cups, which is ultimate emotional fulfillment here. And so it almost feels like you're hesitant to accept this offer because of where you're sitting in this sort of content, independent energy, perhaps. Let's see how it's showing up as your challenge. So we have the stargazer, set your sights higher. And so I do feel like perhaps you're quite zoomed in on this situation and you may not be seeing the bigger picture. And that is why it's showing up as your challenge. Because with that conflict, it comes a lot of mental activity, right? And so I do feel like there's some sort of, especially with that Queen of Swords showing up, you know, she's not really too far into her emotions. She's much more logic based in her energy. And so it does feel like perhaps on a practical level, this partnership doesn't make sense to you. And with the other cards that we have showing up here, I do feel like potentially you're not seeing from a higher perspective because you're in the mind space rather than the emotions, right? Let's see, we have the Hierophant, so you showing up strongly in this challenge position. So it kind of does feel like perhaps you might be blocking yourself here. Let's see what else we get. Some sort of ending definitely here with the Ten of Swords. What do we have? The Hierophant. We have Justice. You know, does this person want marriage with those two coming in together? And the Tower. So perhaps you've, you know, you're kind of coming from this standpoint that you've already been in a long-term, potentially a marriage, and it came crumbling down, right? Either that, or this is also showing up possibly that this person wants a serious commitment with you, and you're like, what? It's kind of coming in to zap you a little bit. What do we have? The Eight of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Emperor. So it could very well be that you are tempted to walk away from this because you're really just kind of focused on your independence, your work, your money. You've kind of been in this position of having complete control over your every move, right? Whether it's work endeavors, that kind of thing. But it does feel like I might be reading here for feminine, and the masculine is arriving here in the form of this King of Cups and the Emperor, and they're wanting to put in the work. Now, it could be that this person has already walked away from you in the past, and that could be what's contributing to this inner conflict that you've had. Because we do have the Hierophant, the Eight of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. So this could be a commitment that you've already experienced and it ended because this person walked away. Certainly take it vice versa to fit your own experience here. Why do we have the Ten of Swords? The High Priestess. And the Four of Wands. Could very well be that perhaps your intuition is kind of saying this will never work. This union, if it were to happen, will just end in flames, right? And so that's certainly showing up as a challenge for you. I'm going to get one more on the... Another thing that I'm also getting from this Yeah, you feel like this is probably just going to end badly. Now, another thing that I'm getting with this High Priestess, Ten of Swords, Four of Wands, and Five of Pentacles is that as far as your experience went, this came to an end. And this High Priestess can kind of keep things behind the curtain, right? And so it could very well be that you're not quite seeing from a higher perspective that ultimately you two were meant to come together here. So kind of take that as it resonates. I do feel both pretty strongly there that, you know, perhaps you have been with this person. It ended in the past. It ended maybe badly. And they walked away. And based on what you could see coming, it was totally over. However, unbeknownst to you, it wasn't quite finished, right? So I do feel both of those there. Now, in the potential outcome, we do have this precognition card. Psychic ability and future vision. So very much feels like that High Priestess energy because she can see on an intuitive level what's coming in. Now we do have the Star, the Two of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles here. So it's almost like you could choose this because I feel like on maybe even on some level, as you kind of get through the fact that maybe it's not logical, perhaps underneath on an intuitive level, this is exactly what's supposed to happen, right? But you're still kind of in this Two of Pentacles energy of trying to decide, is this a destined situation? If it's something from the past, can it be healed? Or do I stay independent? So let's see what we get here in the potential outcome. It's almost like something about your intuitive nature comes online and kind of hits you a little bit here, because like I was saying, it's almost like you've been in this kind of more mental energy about this situation, and perhaps that's what's been distracting you from your intuitive feelings about this. So let's see, the Star, where do we have that? We have the Magician and the Five of Cups. With the Two of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups. Did I say Two of Cups here? I meant five. If I said two. Interesting. With the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Hanged Man and the Devil. Interesting. And the King of Swords, clarifying that Devil energy. So we have a Queen and King of Swords on the board, and now we have a Queen of Wands showing up here. I feel like you have a choice here for sure, and that has continued through the reading. I feel like you may even have some doubts. If this is someone from the past, I feel like you have some doubts that this is something that can be healed. And I'm seeing that Four of Cups again at the bottom of the deck, so I just don't know that you're fully on board with this. I think there's some doubts as to whether or not this is something that is destined and can be healed. But I do feel like there's something about this that you have attracted back into your life. Now, I do feel like this person finds you intensely attractive with that Queen of Wands showing up there. They may very well find you to be quite irresistible. And I do feel like they see you as a soulmate here with that Two of Cups. Now this is kind of where it gets interesting. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Devil clarified by the King of Swords. I think you're really kind of coming to this conclusion that even if this is your soulmate, something about how things went down in the past was, I get almost like a very immature energy with this Devil, King of Swords, as if this person had, some pretty toxic ways of looking at things, speaking. Perhaps some really nasty words were exchanged in the past. But I also, because I feel like I'm getting several stories here throughout this reading, I also feel that on some level, your need to remain in this independent energy, I think you may be starting to see how perhaps that's something that you have held on to as a way of avoiding toxicity. And not because this King of Cups, Ten of Cups energy is actually bad, but because you have been hurt in the past, you've been through broken, commitments and relationships, and so you're struggling to see how this could possibly turn out well, because it's been a form of protection for yourself. This independent energy where you feel, I'm better off just kind of focusing on my work, focusing on myself, remaining independent. Kind of like this attitude, like no relationship is ever going to measure up and be better than my singlehood, right? And I feel like it's almost like that awareness may come in here. We have the Hanged Man twice, right? And so you're having a shift in perspective on how perhaps you have been approaching relationships from a very logical standpoint, no matter what kind of love offer comes your way. Because again, I don't get this feeling that this King of Cups is a toxic energy. I feel like this is a genuine offer here from this person, and they find you quite attractive and tempting. There's a lot of love here. But in both cases with the Hanged Man, we have this Queen and King of Swords, and that's very logical thinking, and in this case, almost to a fault, right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And so I do feel like it's both. I feel like for someone here, or for some of you, this person comes flooding in with all this love. I want to be loyal to you. Give me a chance here. And it happens to be, something that you've already ended in the past, and you just don't think it's going to work this time. And so you come to this conclusion that this isn't destined. It's not going to work. We can't heal this. I'm going to stay by myself. And for some of you, I feel like this person comes in and declares their deep loyalty and love to you, But because of past relationships, not with this person, you've kind of gotten into this very kind of cold and almost stoic place when it comes to your own independence. And so that's kind of the place that you're viewing this from, which is like, no relationship's ever going to be quite what I need. They've all failed in the past. And so I do feel like on some sort of psychic level here in the outcome, you come to realize that perhaps any new and incoming potential suitors or lovers or whatever you want to call it, even soulmate energy, this could be friendships that haven't worked for you as well. You've kind of closed off, and I think you begin to see that perhaps that is the case here, with that Hanged Man energy showing up. Very interesting. I do feel that both apply to some of you, so certainly take what resonates and apply that to yourself. One thing I do feel it's actually stronger that you're not quite seeing almost like this. It's almost like you put yourself in this box of remaining independent. And I think it's because you're attempting to use logic. We're not setting our sights higher. You can see it. I mean, this guy's a stargazer. He's looking at the astrology through this telescope. He's like looking at the bigger cycles of life. And then we have this High Priestess energy coming in here with that psychic, intuitive ability showing up. So if this is your reading, your story, and this is what kind of comes in during the week of the 17th, I definitely recommend that you kind of, look at it both sides, because, our shadow is called a shadow for a reason. It's because we don't see it, right? And so it could very well be that you're just in this, I'll never be in a relationship or a deep friendship ever again because I've been burned in the past. And so your expectation is that they're all going to just go down in flames anyway, right? So watch out for that, because you could actually be walking away from something that's actually destined for you. So let's get your, whoops, I'm going to go ahead and take that. Emotions are running high. I wanted to get your full moon message for the Aries full moon. I'm going to get one more since that just kind of slid off the top. What is the full moon message for Taurus this week? Oh my gosh. And I grabbed two more. Your dreams need a practical plan, and what do you need to release? So quite powerful here. You got your full moon in yourself, Taurus. So certainly could have some of that Taurus stubborn energy showing up here, right? And with it being a full moon, perhaps that is tying into kind of seeing things in a bit of a different light. Because with the fixed signs, and this is certainly not me speaking poorly of Taurus, so please keep that in mind. With the fixed signs, which is what you are, oftentimes those signs are fixed and considered kind of more of the stubborn signs of the zodiac, because until they come to their own conclusion here, that they're set in their opinion, in their method of doing something. And so this Hanged Man energy is something you experience, and then something can change, because unless it comes from within you, you're likely not going to just you know, take the opinions that others provide, if that makes sense. So, so it could be that there's something that does need to release here with something that you're viewing, because we are getting the full moon in Taurus. So something coming to a close and being illuminated, right? Now we do have the super moon as well, emotions running high. So it could be a very strong full moon for you. And I'm getting that part of that is because some of this hanged man perspective shift actually gets you to see that perhaps you've been too much in your head and not enough in your emotions, and then they just come like, they come through strongly. It could also be the emotions that this King of Cups is bringing in, because he's quite the emotional character, right? With that 10 of Cups that he's kind of bringing to the table. So let's see what other messages we can get for the full moon in Aries for you, Taurus. What does Taurus need to know? Two of Swords, Five of Pentacles, and the Hermit. So again, I feel like there's some deeper reflection that needs to take place on why you don't want to accept this offer. With that Two of Swords, you can see she's kind of blindfolded. She's kind of refusing to make a choice because it's uncomfortable, right? It can kind of cause some mental uptick in our minds. And you can see she's actually got the full moon here on this particular Two of Swords here. Now we did have the Five of Pentacles show up because I think your initial reaction in this story here is to immediately reject this as possible. And with the Hermit showing up, you're being asked to look deeper. So pay attention as this kind of comes forward. And like I said, could be like a deep love, could be a friendship, could be a family member, but there's something about, you know, kind of opening up to that you're being asked to look at. I hope that was helpful, Taurus, and I hope you have a great full moon. I will see you back here next week. We'll be doing the October wrap-ups, and again, check out this link, should be popping up now, for the Mercury retrograde post-shadow. If you want to have another look at that, you might get a little bit more insight into this situation as well. So I'll see you next time. Bye.